I'll show you how can we work with like almost actually almost fully stack, but we skip the part of the database, but I'll show you the simple flask instead. This is the small flask for test with your mobile application. You have to install these two library first because we will use ngrock. So once you install, you can run the code like this. I just use just only one directory. That is to find the answer. In this directory, get answer, the user must send the question in the variable q, and then I just return the JSON that contains the key data, and the result is I've just got the Q. This is the result. So and return the JSON. Okay, so then I use app.run. So you can test it using this ngrock. I've used ngrock and q get answer q is yes, for example, and it will return just only one JSON that contains the data, and I've got yes. Okay, so now let's see the code. At first we modified the data and everything from the previous example in the model from the last video clip. So at first you have to modify your data model that in the first stage you just use only the temp one, right? Now you have to export another kind of data, that is I'll use the export the interface data, and inside this data we got just only one variable here, that is the data, that is string. So once you modify the temp.model, so save it, and then in your weather provider.typescript, the one that you did before, just instead of adding just only get temp that you did from the previous example, use get answer, and in get answer get one question string from outside, and then you have to import your my data from the model and use the HTTP GET and cast it to my data and provide URL that is from your ngrock server and get answer in queue, and this one you add the input to this method. So you can imagine, right? This one is like URL that you get the queue from the input here. Okay, so this one will call this URL and return the answer in the format of my data. Okay, this is the one that you have to modify in your provider. So two lines here, add and import my data and add the method to get the data, and in home.page.typescript ts just provide the method to get the answer. So in this method I will use the here first you must add this line, the data that observable my data, and don't forget to import the my data one here, and then add the data here, and then in this method we will provide this method for a button to call it. So this dot data same as the one that you get the temp one, but this time this data is this dot temp provider dot get answer, the method that we just finished in the provider one, and then provide the input question as the parameter, and it will store in the Q1. Okay, so the question, the input question will be sent to this method via the Q variable. Okay, so then now we will get the answer in this dot data. Okay, this dot input question will be a string that we bind it with the ng model. Okay, so in the home.page.html, I've added another card, that is this one. Add the ion card and provide the card title to be the Q&A one, and then I add the ion item to combine the ion label and input here. For the ion input, I use it and bind this variable input question to the input one. Okay, so this is the result. We will have the title of Q&A here, and we will have one label here, your question, and this is the answer, hello, for example. So this hello will bind with the input question, and then I add a button here. This is ion button, so this one is a button, expand to be full, and on click call the get answer. The get answer will be this method, this one, get answer. Okay, so the title of this button is submit. Okay, and use the same thing as before, ng if the data you got the data already, just show the content here. This one is the answer dot data, because you use data and use async as ans here. So in your answer, because this one is the model, right? Yeah. So you have dot data here. Okay, so this one is the answer dot data. So that's all. Once you save it, you can type hello and then submit. This one is the result that return from your service. So you can see that I've got hello. You can test another thing, like this is mine, and then this one is the something that returned from your API. So I hope that you can follow these steps, so it becomes like closer to the real world application.